You know, there's this really weird thing that happens to some folks. They step into a room, and bam, they pick up on everything. That awkward vibe hanging between two buddies who just had a fight, or the quiet hurt lurking behind someone's big grin. We've all heard how this is supposed to be this amazing superpower, right? Like, oh, you're so empathetic you notice what everyone else misses. But today I want to flip that script on you. What if I told you this sharp awareness isn't a gift at all? What if it's actually the riskiest thing you could carry around? I'm not talking about everyday dangers here, no scraped knees or car crashes. Nah, this is sneakier, deeper. It's the risk of getting so tuned in that you can't join in on that easy, blissful ignorance most people coast through life on. You ever really people watch at a party? I mean, sit back and observe. It's like everyone's in on this unspoken game with crystal clear rules nobody ever wrote down. You go up to someone and ask, "How's it going?" They hit you with, "Great, thanks," and you both nod like that's the full story. You tell the host their place looks awesome. You chuckle at a joke that's barely a blip. You murmur that sucks to a tale you've heard a dozen times. It's all this group pact to skim the surface, keep it light, dodge the deep dives. But then there's you, the one who sees right through the charade. You spot the wife who tenses up just a hair when her husband cracks another dad joke. You feel the coworker radiating loneliness even in a crowd of laughs. You sense the low-key panic buzzing through the air like static you can't shake. And that's when the trouble kicks in. Because once your eyes are open to that stuff, you can't slam them shut again. Worse, your vibe starts acting like a funhouse mirror, reflecting back all the stuff people don't want to face. Let me break it down. When you tune into those undercurrents, the real emotions bubbling under the small talk, you're basically yelling, "Hey, we're all ignoring the elephant," without saying a word. And guess what? Folks hate that. Not 'cause they're jerks or clueless, but because your insight pokes holes in the cozy setup they rely on to get by. Picture society like a big theater production. We've all got our roles, the go-getter exec, the super mom juggling it all, the rock-solid pal. It's smooth sailing as long as we stick to the script, costumes and all. But you? With that laser focus, you're the guy who jumps up mid-show and hollers, "Wait, that's just makeup and lines, it's all fake." Yeah, the applause for that? Crickets, or worse. So the first big hazard is straight-up isolation. Not the "I need more Netflix buddies" kind, but the gut-punch loneliness of existing in a parallel universe. You're chatting in a dialect no one gets, peering at a layer of reality that's invisible to the crowd. The kicker? The sharper your view, the lonelier the ride gets. I knew this woman once, let's call her Sarah to show you what I mean. She had this knack for reading rooms like a pro. Walk in, and in seconds, shed clock the real deals. Who's dropping truth bombs? Who's faking the funk? Who's hurting bad but plastering on a smile? Who's solid gold? Who's sketching secrets? Sounds cool, huh? Except it tanked every bond she had. Not 'cause she was mean or nosy, she was neither. People just felt stripped bare around her. Couldn't keep up the act. Her crew started pulling back, saying stuff like, "Sarah, you're way too heavy. You overanalyze everything. Can't you chill and just vibe?" But she couldn't flip the switch. It's not like empathy's a dimmer, you can't just tune it down for happy hour. It's more like telling someone with killer hearing to block out the noise. Once that radar's locked on, it's 24/7, beaming back the truths everyone else buries. And that leads to danger number 2, the brutal fork in the road. You spot the raw deal, the mess under the polish, and now what? Spill it, or zip it. Speak up, and you're toast. People don't debate, they swing. You'll get slapped with pessimist, drama queen. Why can't you let it go? Like you're conjuring ghosts from thin air, twisting nice moments into nightmares. But play mute? Bottle that insight. Nod along to the BS you know is bogus. That's soul erosion. Each time you ditch your gut for their highlight reel, you're gaslighting yourself, "My take's invalid." Stack that up, and you splinter inside. One half screams the facts, the other plays pretend. It's a slow burn crazy, the kind that whispers instead of shouts. Flashback to a team huddle I was in ages ago. Groups high-fiving over this slam dunk initiative, but him staring at the cracks, fake cheer, topic dodges, eyes darting from tough spots like they're radioactive. I pipe up soft like, hey, maybe we peek at these red flags. Boom, backlash city. Not cool debate, just walls up, glares flying. Pure defense mode, which drags us to danger 3, the slyest beast. When your clear eyes clash with their blind spots, the blame ricochets to you. They don't plot it, it's reflex. Your spotlight on the ugly bits, suddenly you're the glitch, the spark for the fire you're just pointing out. Classic kill the bearer move. Kid yells the king's buck naked. Crowd doesn't cheer the honesty, they mob the buzzkill for ruining the parade. I've seen this loop play out forever. The truth spotter gets tagged. Downer. Stirring pot unhinged. Chill out seeing shadows. Spot the pattern? It flips the script the seer's busted, not the scene. Genius dodge, gaslight the messenger, skip the message. But the real gut punch, danger 4, it's the empathy overload. You're slurping up vibes like a vacuum, unspoken griefs, buried rages, the whole emotional soup. Your mood? A blender of yours and theirs. Stroll in zen, stroll out wrecked, wondering, is this mine? Or did I sponge it off, Dave? It's draining like decoding a riot in your head. Voices overlapping till yours fades. Folks I've talked to say it flat out. I'm vanishing. More them, less me. Not artsy talk. It's legit psyche strain. Boundaries blur. You leak identity. You're a sieve, not a fortress. Sounds bleak, yeah? Like, is this curse permanent for the awake crowd? Hold up, here is the twist. This peril only bites when you're blind to it. When you think, am I nuts? Instead of this is my wiring, flip that script, own the awareness as your edge, and the game's yours. Not cause the radar quits, but cause you boss it. You clock your off-duty from playing savior. No mandate to flag every flaw or patch every wound. See, the poison ain't the sight, it's the itch to meddle. The myth? Spot trouble, fix it. Feel pain, cure it. Sniff dysfunction, scrub it clean. Boom, you're hauling loads, not yours. Try this visual. Strolling by a stream, water's all murky. Peeps breeze past, oblivious. You? Options. Dive in, thrash to purify, muddy at worse, wipe out. Or, note it, sidestep the sip, keep walking. Stream settles solo when it's time. Your splash? Backfire city. That's the sage hack for sharp sight. Not every blip needs your bandwidth. But get this, the less you force fixes, the crisper your lens gets. Bonus, folks unwind around you, no vibe of change or else. They exhale. Imagine clicking with someone who gets your mess deep, sans the rescue op. Spots your scars, no rush to stitch. Knows your spooks, no timeline shove. Feels like unchained air, right? Pure liberty. That's evolved empathy. Not a club to whack denial, but a quiet invite via your chill. You behold full on. Let him marinate as is. Ain't endorsement or denial. It's dropping the my mission ego. Word to the wise. This ain't go numb or bail on hurt. It's empathy versus enabler mode, spot versus shoulder the load. The trap, weaponizing sight for superiority, isolation badges, or blind bashing, that nukes ties, strands you, but wield it loose? Peak sans grip, no sans nag, it morphs to haven. A chill zone for slow bloom awakenings, no prod, no shade. From chats with high perceivers over years, sufferers aren't the deepest seers, they're the unshielded ones. Gulping raw feeds, lugging alien weights, burning out on a snoozing world. Thrivers? They master in but not of. Gaze bold, stay whole. Dive emotional oceans, surface dry. Key, intentional gap, not icy pullback but boundary bomb. How to level up? Solo dives first. Not lone wolf scrolls but mind clearing unplug. No vibe vampire hours. Let your inner silt drop, sort me from their baggage. Then, trust the intel, don't slave to it. Friends unions fraying, colleagues gutted, clan chaos, spot on, sure, but pivot. What's my move? Often, zip. Cradle the truth till it hatches free. Ain't apathy, it's street smarts. Shifts spark when ripe, not rushed. Snags untangle on schedule, not yours. Minds unfold leisurely, rarely your pace. So yeah, core truth. This site risk, real AF. It silos, saps, spotlights you for ire, erodes your core. But optional if you steward smart. Build fix-free muscle. Honor your lens, grant theirs lag time. Gift-curse duality, same coin. Flip hinges on wise grip, patience, walls. Self-scan to shine, not shatter. And hunt your tribe. Fellow wide eyes, hidden hunters, quiet knowers. Link up. Get mirrored true, no dim-down demands. Peril? Poetry. You're no glitch, no fracture, just stirred in slumber town. Kin's out there, too. Link loose, no haste, cradle dawns creep over dreamers. That's the spark in the storm. Wise held sight? No solo drag a soft glow, open-palmed. They sidle up if game, if not their call. Your gig? Stay lit, see crisp, dwell easy. Risk looms, but so does win. Aware, unswamped. Deep dive, sands sink. Totem, not toxin. That's the wide-eyed waltz in shut-lid land. Okay, so if part one was the wake-up call about why this hyper-awareness can feel like a trap, let's dive into the flip side, how you flip it from curse to compass. Because here's the deal. Once you get that your curse is just unchecked supersight, the whole game levels up. It's not about shutting off the radar. It's about upgrading your cockpit so you fly steady, not crash and burn. Remember that muddy river bit? That's your daily mantra now. Spot the murk, don't cannonball in to fix it. Why? Because real change, it brews in its own pot, on its own clock. You stirring? You're just kicking up more sediment, tiring yourself out for zero payoff. If been there early days, you'd see a friend's toxic dynamic from a mile off and dive head first. Girl, you gotta dump him. Cue the fallout. She doubles down. I feel like the villain, and nothing shifts. Lesson learned. Sometimes the power move is the pause button. Hold space, not the reins. This ain't some woo-woo detachment, though. It's tactical empathy. You care deep, hell yeah, but you clock that their journey's theirs. You're the lighthouse, not the tugboat. And get this. When you drop the fixer hat, magic happens. Your sight sharpens cause you're not clouded by must-save stress. Plus, people, they gravitate. No judgment vibe, no agenda push, they sense the safety net. It's like, this person's got me, no strings. Boom, doors crack open. They spill on their timeline, and real healing kicks in, organic-like. But let's get real. Easier said than lived, right? That compulsion to intervene? It's wired in, especially if you're the type who grew up smoothing edges or dodging drama by playing therapist. So, how do you rewire? Start small. Next time you sense the undercurrent, say, a family dinner where Uncle Bob's passive aggression is thicker than the gravy don't probe. Just note it internally. Yup, there's the pattern. Sip your wine. Steer the chat to football. Later, solo journal blast. What I pick up? Mine or borrowed. Process it there, not in the moment's crossfire. And boundaries? Non-negotiable upgrade. Think of them like emotional Wi-Fi filters. Block the spam, let in the signal. Practice phrases that honor your sight without spilling the tea. Sounds heavy, one event. VS. I see what's eating you, and it's this. The first invites, the second indicts. You're still seen, still supportive, but no mirror shatter. Over time, this builds your core fortress. You absorb less junk, retain more you. Now, zoom out. This isn't solo work forever. The isolation I harped on? It fades when you curate your crew. Not the surface skim squad, but the rare souls who match your wavelength. How to find them? Lean into niches where deep divers flock, book clubs on psych thrillers, podcasts on shadow work, even online forums for highly sensitive peeps. Yeah, that's a thing. Look it up if you're nodding hard right now. When you connect, it's electric. No explanations needed. They get the unseen chatter. Conversations flow like, you felt that vibe too? Thought I was solo tripping. Validation hits different, it's oxygen after holding breath. I gotta share this one connection that flipped my script. Met a guy at a workshop, total stranger, but 5 minutes in, we're dissecting the room's energy like pros. He clocked my exhaustion from over-absorbing. I nailed his quiet grief. No fixes swapped, just I see you acknowledgement. That night, slept like a rock, woke lighter. Proof. Tribe turns the weight into wings. But wait, there's a shadow side to this wise seeing upgrade. If you're not vigilant, it can morph into smugness. Like, I'm awake, they're sheep. Toxic trap feeds the very isolation you're escaping. Antidote, humility hits. Remind yourself, your sight's a tool, not a crown. Everyone's got blind spots, including you. Maybe they're aces at joy snagging, the stuff you overthink. Trade notes, not superiority. Stay curious. What's their angle I miss? Keeps you grounded, relational. And compassion? Amp it for the sleepers. Not pity, empathy. For the grind of unconscious living. They're not lazy. It's survival mode. Denying the depths keeps the boat afloat. Short term. Your role? Gentle nudge, not alarm clock. Share nuggets when asked. Model peace in your presence. Over time, your calm ripples wakes him soft, not startled. Let's talk self-care. Cause this path. Marathon, not sprint. Daily rituals to recharge that sponge brain. Nature walks grounds the buzz. Breathwork resets the filter. Creative dumps art. Writing offload the feels without dumping on friends. And sleep? Gold. Tired seers? Paranoia central. Prioritize the shut-eye to keep perceptions crisp, not cranky. Oh, and therapy? If accessible, game changer. A pro who gets empaths can mirror your mirror. Help untangle the me versus them knots without bias. It's like calibration for your internal compass. No shame in the toolkit. It's pro-level play. Now, picture this evolved you at that party from earlier. You still sense the flinches, the lonelies, the undercurrents. But now, you sip your drink, offer a quiet smile to the tense wife, no probing stare. Chat light with the lonely colleague, drop a genuine. Love your shirt that lands real. The anxiety hum. You breathe through it, let it pass like clouds. End of night, you're energized, not emptied. Connections sparked, not scorched. That's the win. Sight as ally, not anchor. But here is the raw truth, this shift takes grit. You'll slip. Moments where the old urge surges, must. Fix. Now. Or the doubt creeps. Am I too detached? Do I even care? Normal. It's growths, growing pains. Track the wins in a sight journal, small notes like held back today. Friend opened up later. Score. Builds momentum, rewires the reward loop. And failures? Fuel, not fiasco. That time you overstep and get the backlash? Apologize clean. Hey, I projected my bad. Own it, learn, level. No self-flagellation, that's the old trap. Your human sight's high, but stumbles happen. Expanding this to bigger arenas. Work, family, world. At the office? See the project doom? Log it privately, flag data-driven, not vibe check. Less hostility, more traction. Family feuds? Perceive the roots, but seed change via questions. What if we tried this? Invites buy-in, dodges defense. Globally, news overload hits hard for us seers. Doom scrolling's a vortex. Curate intake. One trusted source daily, then unplug. Channel the awareness to action that fits. Donate, advocate, but bounded. No savior complex for society. That's burnout city. Intimacy gets the glow up too. Partners, close pals, they're your lab for this. Early on, disclose gentle. I pick up energies. Big time helps me connect, but I need recharge space. Sets expectations. Builds trust. When conflicts brew, lead with I sense, owns your lens, softens the edge. Deeper bonds form raw, resilient cores. They know you're in it, perceptive, not projective. Kids, if that's your world, teach by osmosis. Model boundary calls, moms feeling the room, gonna step out for air. They learn empathy sans exhaustion. Or frame your sight as superpower with rules, like spider sense but with timeouts. Empowers them to tune their own. Creatives among us, this awareness, rocket fuel. Writers mine the unspoken for plots that gut punch. Artists layer the hidden hues. Musicians score the silent heartbeats. Channel it, turn perception to product, not just catharsis, contribution. Your stories wake others vicariously. Spirituality angle, if that resonates. Many traditions nod to this, the curse of knowledge in Buddhism, the seer's solitude in mysticism. Practices like meditation, sharpen focus, thicken skin, prayer or affirmation, I see clearly, release gently, anchors the abstract in action. Diversity shout out, this plays different across cultures, identities. In collectivist vibes, surface skims sacred, your depth might read as rude. Adapt, layer it lighter, build rapport slow. Marginalized seers, extra load absorbing systemic static on top of personal. Extra grace for yourself, seek affinity spaces. Age factor 2, younger, hone it before it hardens. Elders, wisdom's edge, teach back, mentor the next wave. Midlife, pivot point, use it to rewrite narratives, shed old masks. Metrics for mastery, check-ins. Am I more present than drained post-social? Relations deepening, not fraying? Inner peace up, anxiety down. Tweak as needed, it's iterative. Challenges ahead. Holidays, weddings, high-stakes empathy arenas. Prep rituals, pre-game boundaries, post-debrief journals. Triggers like loss. Sight amplifies grief, lean on prose, rituals. Wins? Celebrate, treat yourself to that solo spa day. Community build. Beyond one-offs, foster circles. Host low-key, deep talk nights, wine, prompts, no fixes. Or online, Discord for empaths, Substacks on nuance. Your space seeds the tribe. Global lens. In chaos eras, pandemics, polarizations, sights double-edged, foresees fractures, but wise hold, stabilizes. Share hope nuggets, were messy but connective, fuels resilience. Personal pivot story, mine hit during a rough patch job, toxicity glaring, but speaking up. Exile, switch to observe and report mode, data drops, not doom calls. Outcome, cred built, change sparked, I stayed sane, proof in the pudding. So, wrapping this chunk, the danger dissolves in discernment. You're not doomed to drown, you're designed to dance with depths. Tools, pause, boundaries, tribe, rituals. Mindset, ally, not adversary. Result? Life richer, you rooted, not despite the sight with it. But hold, there's more layers. How this reshapes identity, legacy, the quiet revolutions. Stay tuned. All right, picking up where we left off, we've unpacked the pitfalls, sketched the path out, but now let's zoom in on the messy middle. How this clear-seeing life actually plays out in the trenches. Cause theory is cute, but real talk, it's the daily grind where the rubber hits the road. You're armed with boundaries and mantras, but bam, life lobs curveballs that test every ounce of that hard-won wisdom. And spoiler, that's not failure, that's the forge. Take relationships for starters. The romantic kind? Mine feels central for us percipients. Early sparks? Electric, you sense their layers like a human MRI, dodging the fakers fast. But depth dives? Tricky. You clock the unspoken resentments brewing under honeymoon haze, the attachment styles clashing like tectonic plates. Urge hits, fix it now, resist. Instead, mirror soft, share your reads as invites, not indictments. I feel this pull between us, wanna unpack. Opens collab, not combat. I dated a guy once, solid on paper, but vibes screamed mismatch. Didn't bail dramatic, voiced the disconnect calm. We parted clean, lessons logged. No ghosting scars, just growth ink. Friendships evolve too. Surface pals? Fade natural, you outgrow the small talk loop. Deeper ones? Gold if mutual. Spot a rift. Don't ambush with your envies showing. Seed curiosity. Noticed we're drifting, miss our deep chats. Reclaims connection without cornering. And the one-sided drains. Graceful exit. Space up. energy guarded. Feels cold at first, but frees slots for reciprocal souls. Pro tip: quality audit quarterly. Who lights you up post-hang? Who leaves you wrung? Curate ruthless, your bandwidth's finite. Family? Oof, the ultimate empathy gauntlet. Blood ties tangle sight with obligation, guilt's the gremlin whispering, but they're kin. Holidays hit like emotional tsunamis. Aunt Karen's martyr mask cracking, Dad's buried regrets surfacing in snide asides. Old reflex: absorb, mediate, meltdown. New play: anchor in, ground breaths, claim your corner. Contribute light story swaps, not soul surgery. If chaos peaks, bow out, love y'all need a breather. Post-fest, decompress ritual. Walk it off, voice note the takeaways to a trusted ear. Over seasons, patterns emerge, you become the steady node, not the fixer fulcrum. Influence subtle. Your peace models theirs possible. Work world's another beast. Corporate cubicles, denial dens metrics mask the malaise. You foresee the burnout waves, the toxic underbellies in team vibes. Boardroom blind spots, glaring to you. Tactic: data dress your intuition. Perceive trend. Engagement dipping, 15% thoughts on pulse check. Frames as collab, not clairvoyance. Gets buy-in, sidesteps woo labels. Toxic boss: document the dissonance. Seek allies or exits strategic. Freelance flip: your edge shines. Client reads razor sharp. Proposals pierce pains unspoken. Niche down: consult in empathy-heavy fields like coaching, HR. Monetize the curse, turn sight to service, sustainably. Parenting, if that's your lane. Transformative terror: kids' raw feels. Amplified through your lens, their tantrums echo your unresolved joys, double down bliss. Trap: over-identify, project your shadows. Wisdom: witness wide, intervene light. I see you're furious, want to smash pillows or chat. Validate sans solving. Model the meta. Mom senses the room's tense, gonna shake it off with a dance. Teaches them tools early, empathy without erasure. Teen years, turbulence peaks, your radar pings their hidden storms. Hold loose. Available, not omnipresent. Fosters their agency. Spares your sanity. Legacy perk: you raise mini seers, kinda calibrated. Solo life: underrated superpower. For the lone wolves among us, this awareness: solitude's secret source. No vibe vortex to navigate, just pure signal. Use it. Dive hobbies that channel the channel, journaling the undercurrents, painting the unspoken palettes. But beware, the echo chamber, total isolation, invites rumination ruts. Balance: scheduled social sips, virtual check-ins. Your inner world blooms vast, but connections, the compost. Health hits hard too. Physical: stress somatizes gut knots from absorbed angst, headaches from holding heats. Listen, body's your boundary bell. Tune-ins daily. What's mine here? Yoga: Tai Chi moves that map the merge. Mental: therapy's non-negotiable tune-up. EMDR for empathy echoes, CBT for compulsion tweaks. Meds if needed, no gatekeeping your toolkit. Sleep hygiene: sacred. Wind down sans screens. Read fiction escapes the real too real, herbal teas. Nutrition nod: omega-3 seconds for neural resilience, greens to ground the buzz. Creative callings: where sight sings loudest. Stuck in a block? That's overload, unprocessed undercurrents clogging the pipes. Ritual reset: free write the feels, no filter. Then pivot, mind the mess for magic. That party panic seeds a short story's pulse. Colleagues' quiet despair inspires a song's haunting hook. Output alchemizes, intake turns lead to lyric. Share selective: platforms like Patreon for your tribe, not the masses. Feedback loops with fellow feelers refines without rejection sting. Global gaze: overwhelm optional. World wounds, wide wars, woes, systemic screams. Your sponge soaks it fierce. News feeds like IV drips of despair. Hack: intentional intake. 1 hour weekly, Diverse sources balance the bias. Then act micro. Local letters picked letters to reps. Bigger, amplify voices resonant. Donate to aligned orgs. Avoid the save, the world sinkhole, focus finite. Your clarity? Compass for causes, not crusader cape. Setbacks? Inevitable instructors. Burnout relapse. You overgive. Crash hard. Recovery road. Radical rest, no guilt. Journal the triggers. What boundary breached? Adjust armor. Betrayal blindside. Trusted one weaponizes your insight. You're too much. Sting sharp but sift. Their limit, not your flaw. Grieve, then gatekeep. Gold share shallower till proven. Doubt spirals. Am I imagining it all? Ground in evidence. Past reads that rang true. Affirm. My sight serves, doesn't define. Milestones mark the magic. First aha post-party. You leave lighter, absorbed less, connected more. Relation rebirth. A bond deepens, cause you held space, not hammer. Inner quiet. That voice, yours. Unblended. Celebrate micro. Ritual rewards, favorite meal, sunset stare. Track trajectories. Annual audits. Isolation down. Impact up. Fuels the fire. Diversity deep dive. Intersection counts. POC sears. Layered loads, racial radars pinging constant. Extra empathy exhaust. Seek culturally attuned support. LGBTQ plus lens. Identity undercurrents, acute spot the microaggressions. Shield your sparkle. Neurodiverse. ADHD amps the absorb. Autism hones the hyperfocus. Tailor tools. Stim toys for overflow. Routines for recharge. Women often socialize to sponge harder, reclaim the no fierce. Allies? Amplify margins, your sight spots the silenced, voices their volumes. Aging arc, youth. Hone hungry sights raw, boundaries blurry. Mid, integrate intense career crests. Family forks test the tensile. Elder, elder wisdom sight softens sage, less compulsion, more chronicle. Legacy lens, share stories, not sermons. Mentorship's light, guide green seers gentle, pass the torch tempered. Tectangle, social scrolls, empathy echo chambers doom, algorithms designed to drain, curate, mute the mess, follow the profound. Apps aid, mood trackers pass the personal from public. AI chats, vent vaults offload without human haul, but unplug often nature's the ultimate neutralizer. Humor hack, don't forget to laugh at the lunacy. Your superpower? Also sitcom gold. Spotted the shade from across the room, Sherlock Who. Self-deprecating diffs the density. Comedy clubs for sensitives. Laugh releases the lodged. Podcasts poke fun at the feels binge for buoyancy. One yarn from the vault. Workshop whirlwind group exercise gone haywire, egos erupting unseen. Old me? Jumped in, juggled flames, fried. Evolved? Observed orbit. Noted the nexus. Nudged neutral. Hey, circle back. Diffused. Sands dive. Post. Props poured. You held it together. Validation velvet-proof poise pays. Spirit squad. Beyond buds, build rituals resonant. Morning manifests, today I see and release. Evening evals. What served? What to shed? Books bolster. The Empath's Survival Guide by Judith Orloff, Bible Basics. Courses curate. Online empathy evolutions. Weekend retreats for recharge. Challenges chronicle. Crisis calls loss. Illness, sight, surges sympathetic. Boundaries blur. Lean ladders. Prose, peeps, practices. Winds whisper wide. Quiet contributions. Your presence pivots a convo, plants a seed. Ripple reel. You wake one, they wake waves. So, mid-map marked, trenches teach tenacity. Relations refined, roles rethought, resilience ramped. It's iterative improv, script your sight, but jam the jams. You're not just surviving the sea, you're sculpting symphonies from the subtle. But the finale beckons, tying threads to transcendence, legacy lights, the long game glow. We've journeyed deep from the raw risks of that razor-sharp sight, through the toolkit tweaks and trench warfare, to the triumphs that turn it all transcendent. But here's the crescendo. This isn't just survival strategy. It's soul alchemy. When you master the art of seeing without sinking, you don't just endure, you evolve into something luminous. A quiet revolutionary, not storming barricades, but shifting atmospheres with your mere being. The world doesn't change overnight, but your corner, it glows. And that ripple, it reaches farther than you dream. Let's land on legacy first, 'cause that's the long view payoff. Think about it. We're all leaving footprints, but seers like us. We etch maps, not the obvious ones, billboards or bank accounts, but the subtle scripts that echo in lives we touch. Your kid, absorbing your boundary ballet, grows up fluent in fields, less fractured. That colleague you held space for, sans the sermon, sparks their own awakening arc, pays it forward in boardrooms or bedrooms. The friend who glimpsed grace in your gaze, dares vulnerability, mends a lineage of locked hearts. It's fractal magic. One wise witness webs wider consciousness, soft and steady. No capes required, just consistency. Chronicle your craft. That sight journal evolves to memoir seeds. Share snippets in newsletters, vlogs, or fireside chats. Hey, if you're the room reader too, here's how I hacked the haze. Builds bridges to your budding tribe, turns personal puzzle to communal compass. And the quiet ones? Your presence preaches modeling awake without ache, louder than lectures. Legacy isn't loud, it's lived. Yours? A lineage of liberated lenses, seeing souls into their own light. Now, the transcendence tilt. Beyond tactics, this path invites a paradigm pop. That danger we unpacked, its duality's door curse cracks open to cosmic. Suddenly, the isolation, incubator for intuitions bloom. The overload, oracle training, tuning you to universal hums. Exhaustion echoes, ejector seat from ego's grip, launching you to observer mode. Ah, there's the human hum, fascinating, fleeting. Mystics call it non-dual nudge, self and other blur, benevolent, not burdensome. You sense the oneness without the ooze, connected cosmic without codependent cling. Practices propel this. Contemplative cousins to your core work. Loving kindness meditations, but layered. May I see clear and stay centered. May they awaken easy in their ease. Tonglen breaths inhale the collective ache. Exhale ease, not to hoard the hurt, but transmute it tender. Nature's your guru too. Forest baths where trees teach timeless roots deep, branches free, absorbing storms sans surrender, or stargazing scripts. Universe, you see all, lend me your vast, my vessel's small. Shrinks the small self, swells the spacious. Art's your accelerator here. Channel the channel unbound, poetry from party phantoms, sculptures of silenced screams, symphonies scoring the subtle. It's not outlet alone, it's offering. Your creations, catalysts, cracking others, casings gentle. Drop a track that thrums the unspoken. Watch comments cascade. This hit my hidden thank you. Or a canvas capturing crowd currents, viewers linger, layers lifting. You're not just processing, propagating. Sight as seed, scattered subtle. Service scales it sacred. Volunteer vibes that fit your filter. Crisis hotlines where your radar redeems. Listen luminous, no load lift. Or mentorships for mini minds. School circles teaching feel fluency, spotting strength sans shame. Community co-ops. Food shares where you sense the hungers, unspoken nutritional nods, neighborly nods. Impact intimate. One convo cascades. That barista's buried blues? Your rough day unlocks their laugh. Micro miracles multiply your awareness. Ambient activism. Humor's holy too, don't skip the satire salve. This sight, ripe for roast. Empath life. Enter happy, exit everyone's therapist. Send help or pizza. Memes for the meta, TikToks teasing the tangle. Laughs lighten the load, lure in the light-hearted. Your tribe thickens, folks who get the gag join the jam. Us versus the unseen solidarity, sans the sufferfest. Global glow-up. In fractured times climate cries. Justice jags your sight strategic, foresees the fissures, but wise wield, weaves the webs. Advocate attuned, petitions penned from pattern perks, not panic. Allyship acute, amplify the absorbed aches of the overlooked, voice their volumes vivid. But bounded weekly wins, not world worry. Your clarity, clarion call, calm and clear. Here is the hurt, here is the hope, let's link local. Turns telescope to touch points. Cosmic care concrete. Intimacies, infinity loop. Partners become portals. That evolved exchange evolves eternal nights, naming the nuances, no need to nail. Your quiet tonight feels full story if you share. Deepens the dive, dissolves the divides. Friend flocks, feasts of frankness, potlucks of psyches, no pretenses. Family, forged fresh. Holidays as havens, not hurdles. Gratitude games grounding the ghosts. Your circle, constellation, not cage, stars sighting each other, safe. Self-sovereignty seals it. The ultimate upgrade. That core you reclaim? Crowns queen decisions dialed from depth, not drift. Career calls crisp. Pivot to purpose aligned, like therapy tracks or intuitive coaching. Passions pursued pure. Travel tracing the tells of towns, books burrowing buried truths. Wellness woven whole. Cycles sync to seasons, winter withdraws, summer shares. Your architect now blueprint your bliss, boundaries as beams. Doubts, they'll dance in. Am I selfish for shielding? Now spillover serves. Full cup pours plenty. Empty echoes empty. Too woo for the world. Test it. Your grounded grace grounds others. Weirdo wisdom wins. Burnt before trust again. Time tempers, start sprinkles. Scale to streams. You're resilient, recalibrated. Scars as signposts. Metrics of mastery morph. Not just less drained, but more dazzled. Days where the world's wonder winks back, sunsets sharper, synchronicities sing. Relations, richer rhythms, fewer phrase, fuller flows. Impact, invisible inks, notes from nibbling's auntie, you taught me to trust my gut, or strangers' slides. Your words woke something grateful. Glow, global. You, less guard, more guide. One final fireside. My mirror moment, post a pivotal pain, party where I perceived the pinnacle ploy. Old script, swoop, save, shatter. New, sat still, smiled soft, sipped the scene, seeded a seed. This crew's gold, what's one win tonight? Shifted the tide, tears turned tails, left lifted, links lingered. That, transcendence tasted sight as symphony starter. So, sun's setting on our saga, but dawn's your domain. That danger dawns different now, not doom, but doorway. To depths delicious, connections cosmic, a life laced, luminous. You're not the lone lighthouse in fog, you're the fleet, flickering fierce. See the sleepers? Smile your sparks, subtle summons. They stir when seasons sing. Your season, sovereign shine. Embrace it, eyes eternal, essence eternal. The art, awake, unalone, gift grasped, graceful curse, kissed goodbye, worldwide, yours to wander, wise and wide. Keep seeing, sweet souls. The dawn, it's dawning in you.